Hello, I'm Tania and today's video is all about embracing change because change is really the path to freedom. We have to break free from the pain and suffering, from being stuck, and by making little small incremental changes, we can actually shift the way that we feel and the way that we behave, and ultimately the way that we actually think about the life experience that we have. If this is a topic that is of interest, please stick around. And basically, in order for change to really happen, there's three conditions. One is that you want to change. The second is that you are willing to change. And the third is that you are willing to take the action to make change happen. The definition of insanity is that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you expect a different result, but that different result will never come because you're just repeating the same patterns of behavior, the same thoughts, the same actions, and therefore you're restricting yourself. And that in turn is providing evidence that things aren't changing, and therefore for things not to change, you either blame external factors or you believe that you are not worthy or that you don't deserve whatever you're aspiring to achieve, or even worse, that you're actually creating this constant turmoil within yourself that creates pain and suffering, and then it makes you scared to take action. Fear takes hold of it. Takes hold of you because there's reasons why we procrastinate. I'll cover that off shortly. Now, there is another quote that Benjamin Franklin used, and it was, "In this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes." Now, I would add to that change also. We change on a daily basis. Our body changes within like minutes. Our certain cells are regenerating, certain cells are dying, new ones are being created, and it's that kind of circle of life. Yes, certain organs might actually take 7 years for them to be fully regenerated. There might be some cells in our bodies that we have from the inception of when we're being born until we take our final breath. But in the grand scheme of things, our body changes. And one of the kind of interesting facts is that our taste buds on our tongue actually change within 10 days. That is the reason why if you can detox for a 10-day period, then things don't taste the same. So that is just a handy tip if you're wanting to sort of like cut out a bit of sugar or a bit of chocolate or whatever it might be that you're aspiring to sort of like change. So change is inevitable. Every day we become a new version of ourselves. And this is where the life experience that we had yesterday is going to inform our decisions, how we show up today. And therefore, each day that we're learning, growing, expanding, and overcoming obstacles, we're creating more evidence and proof that we are capable of overcoming hard, difficult tasks at hand. And this is where we are all on our own self-discovery journey through this life experience. I truly believe it is all about learning, growing and expanding, about sharing, about contributing, about enhancing our relationships, about us being like learning a lesson and then putting it into practical, put the practical steps in place, create the healthy new habits that are going to help you, propel you, move you in the direction of what your desires and goals are. And this is where, if most people get stuck in the I want to change, and we say we're willing to change, but in actual fact, our actions and our behaviors are talking louder and they're basically keeping us stuck. We're not taking the next step. It's great, you sort of watch a video, you get inspired and you're like, yeah, I'm going to start doing this, and you do it for a day, 2 days, but then maybe you don't see the reward and you don't see the the kind of benefit straight away. You don't get that immediate gratification, and therefore you start day 3, you start like, oh, maybe today I won't bother, or it's a wee bit too hard, I'm not going to do it. And then day 4 you don't even do it again. And then, so you've given it a go for 2 days, but then you gave up. Now, as I mentioned, procrastination is usually what keeps us stuck. So we might want to change, we might say that we're willing to change, but when it comes to taking the action, we might freeze, we might not be able to do it. And that is usually because fear is creeping in. Our past history, our past patterns of behaviour have given us lots of evidence that sort of say, oh, what's the point? You're always going to give up. You don't see things through to the end. So just not even bother. Don't even try. And this is where James Clear, Atomic Habits book is really useful, because that gives you the kind of little tips on how to tackle introducing new habits into your life and how to take away unhelpful habits. So what I'll do is I'll link the video that I did on that a few weeks back, so you can get a little bit more information, or check out James's book. Now, the other reason why fear is one reason why, like, we've got this evidence and then we're choosing not to sort of do it, and it could be stress, we're overwhelmed, there's just too much going on. The second is that we've got conflicting beliefs. And this is where, if you've got 2 beliefs that counteract each other, basically you don't take any action because one cancels the other out. And this is where we need to be absolutely clear what our beliefs are. And if beliefs are no longer serving us, then we can actually reframe them, or we can let them go. And a prime example of this is where we're actually wanting to, like, let's use the kind of healthy relationship with food, which is one of my goals. So I want to have a health and fit body, so my health is improved and that I can live a long and productive life. But at the same time, I had this belief that I loved cake and I loved sugary sweets and I deserved to be rewarded for doing difficult things. Now, if I was doing the rewarding once a week or once a month, that would be fine. But when I was doing the rewarding maybe once a day, or maybe even several times during the day, then of course my health isn't going to be improved, because sugary treats or sugary foods are going to put you on a glucose spike roller coaster, and from that kind of perspective, you're not going to have a fit and healthy body, because that is going to impact your mood, it's going to impact how your body is performing, and that is just in practical, tangible terms. But those 2 beliefs, I want to have a fit and healthy body, but at the same time I want to reward myself with sugary unhealthy treats and snacks, was just contradicting. So what I've ended up doing is reframing the kind of thoughts and beliefs that I had around reward and around treats, changing the language that I was actually using, that sugary food isn't a treat, because that is punishing your body, and seeing it for what it is. So it's about looking at your conflicting beliefs and deciding how you want to sort of reframe them in order for you to actually focus on what you actually want. Which then brings us to the third point of why sometimes we procrastinate, and that is because we don't have a strong enough why. Our desire, our goal isn't strong enough, and it's not that, oh, I want to have the fit and healthy body, but if you don't create that very dynamic image in your mind, in your head, in the language that you're actually using of what does that feel like to have a fit and healthy body? What does it feel like to wake up in the morning and bounce out of bed ready to take the day ahead, and that you want to go and exercise, that you get to experience life in its fullest, that you get to nourish your body with healthy, nutritious, energizing foods? And it's about creating all those reasons why it is important for you to have a fit and vital body. And once you've got all 3 of of those, once you actually get yourself in a place of you appreciate it's fear that's holding you back, and you might be a wee bit overwhelmed because there's just too much choices, too much information. It's about deciphering that all down. Then looking at your beliefs, reframing the ones that, or letting go of the ones that no longer serve you, and focus on your why, and do the kind of 5 levels deep why, do a 7 levels deep why, go as deep as you need to really get to the real fundamental belief and desire that you want to implement, the identity. I want to be a fit, healthy, energized woman that is thriving every day, that she is ready to take on the day. Whatever obstacles come my way, I'm able to navigate them because I know what I need to do to nourish and energize my body, keep my mood uplifted, and turn up as the best version of myself. So this is the reason why most people get to the, yeah, I want to change, I'm willing to change, but then I'm not willing to take the action. So unpack what's holding you back from not taking the action. And once you get clarity around that, keep chipping away at it, diving deep and getting very clear on why you want to change. What are the benefits of you changing? How are you going to feel when you are that changed person? When you're living the life that you've wanted to live? When you get away from the pain? Because most people focus on what we don't want rather than what we truly want. So this is about you giving yourself the gift to really articulate in the most colourful language that you possibly can. Create the biggest, more vibrant pictures in your mind that you can actually create that desire that you're almost like, yeah, I'm wanting to take action now. I'm willing to make this happen. And then it's about keeping yourself accountable and responsible by tracking the progress. That the moment the first obstacle comes, that you don't just like, oh, I'm just going to give up. So introduce the healthier way to introduce habits. Get rid of old habits that are no longer serving you in order for you to really give yourself like a period of time. Give yourself 30 days to really go at something, to really see that you're making progress. Because if you just do it for a day, 2 days, then you might not see a reward or a result. And therefore, you just think, well, what's the point? Well, the point is I'm going to show up for myself. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to track it for 30 days. And if in 30 days, when I do a self-reflection review of the progress that I've made, the desire is not as strong as it was on day 1, then course correct, pivot, change things. We are not like, change is the whole nature of it. You can be flexible, you can be agile, you can course correct on a daily basis if you want to, but definitely give yourself a timeline that you're going to keep doing something for at least that 30 days to create some evidence to sort of back up and create that kind of trust in yourself that you're keeping the promises and you're turning up for yourself. So have you experienced, let me know in the comments below, have you experienced change in your life? I'll be flabbergasted if you say no, because we all change on a daily basis. You just might not be aware of it. So just take a minute. Have you changed? What's the biggest change that's happened to you in the past year, in the past 5 years? And what habits have you changed? What kind of tools, techniques have you used to keep you motivated, pushing through and achieving your goals? Share it with the community. That would be greatly appreciated. If this is content that has resonated, if you like my vibe and you want to hear more self-development tools, techniques and experiences and lessons from my life, please like and subscribe and go out and seize the day. Go out and seize the day. Have the most amazing day, whatever you're doing. And remember, there's always choices in life, so choose wisely. Bye until the next one.